Now, I would like to welcome our graduate speaker, Mr. John Kornfeld, to the lectern.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests, faculty, family, friends, loved ones, and the class of 2024. We are here today in the fiercely independent state of Maine to celebrate the class of 2024 and to reflect back on our time attending Unity Environmental University. Now, we didn't all start out at the same time. For me, it was March of 2022. We didn't all learn in the same place as one another, but the contents of our classes are what unified our academic journey. And we're here today thanks to our professors who pushed us to pursue our interests and apply the lessons onto our communities and interests. Now, the odds were low for some of us of getting to this proud day. It took late nights and sacrifices, forging new connections and reflecting back to grow existing ones. But despite the odds that all of us would end up here, those odds were actually 100% the whole time because we did it. We had it in us the whole time. So my decision to enroll at Unity Environmental University was inspired by the school's commitment to embracing change. In 2012, Unity led the way for schools across the country in divesting from fossil fuels, inspiring a wave of progress and proving to the doubters that change is attainable. Amid the unprecedented wave of challenges impacting the stability of small private colleges, Unity has adapted and used the changing landscape as winds to their sail, expanding both their physical presence throughout Maine and their online presence throughout the United States. This has allowed more students than ever before the chance at an environmental education. And my initial target at Unity was just getting the 4-class sustainability graduate certificate while I considered new career options. After getting a taste of the experience, however, it was a no-brainer to enroll in the corresponding Master's in Environmental Studies, where I completed recently a capstone project that connected me with several professional groups, where I facilitated volunteer stewardship innovations across 3 forms of park administration in my home county, Westchester, New York. And I remember my first nice spring day during my enrollment, strolling outside to take notes from my ecological economics textbook while sitting by the Central Park Lake. Looking around at the high-rise buildings stretching up behind the leaves, I tried to relax to the sounds of the birds chirping as construction distantly buzzed in all directions. The growth of these buildings, much like the financial markets that operate a few miles south at Wall Street, is unrelenting, always with the goal of further expansion. And at that moment, it made for a stark duality. Our natural world is being chipped away at, and the market will never tell us when enough is enough. The value of nature must consider the limits of the ecosystem. Success is in regeneration and renewability. There is a clash of philosophies when people build as cheaply and wastefully as they can get away with, externalizing those costs onto the environment while appearing to be business savvy for saving themselves money. Well, we as Unity graduates understand that planning is necessary and long-term implications should be weighed just as strongly as near-term results. So, an environmental education reflects our moral obligation to look after our planet. Environmental careers go beyond ourselves, aligning our occupation with our values. As the climate crisis has continued to unfold, the focus of our response has shifted from mitigation to adaptation. Reacting to challenges no longer suffices. We must get on the front foot and ensure that we don't sacrifice our one and only home in the pursuit of a wealth that will grow more precarious as inequalities perpetuate. As the ancient Greek philosopher Heraclitus once said, "There is nothing permanent except change." It still rings true to this day. We are defined by the era that we're born into. There is a massive technological advancement on the horizon. The rapid availability of data has ushered in the information age, where we really do have the world at our fingertips. Anybody can tap into the internet and be an agent of change. While we don't choose what era we're born into, through gaining the skills of adaptability, organization, and communication, we can come to define our moment in history. There's never been a more important time than now to shape our planet's future and act in the face of the growing climate emergency. The scale of the changes necessary are massive, and the pressure that we put on the worst polluters can outweigh a lifetime of the individual changes we've been pushed to focus on. So moving forward, we must remember to take time and reflect, meditate. Things won't always be as we wish them to be. Enjoy the small victories and then let them charge you up to achieve even greater ones. Personal growth is a never-ending journey, and we cannot know everything in the face of constant change. Let us make our voices heard and stand up to injustices where we see them. When we can inspire changes, remember to consider them through the 3 pillars of sustainability, factoring in the economic, environmental, and social implications of our decisions. The asynchronous aspect of our education was unique and reflected the idea that the key element of education is in the content. The fast pace of critiquing each other's work kept our terms engaged and connected to new perspectives across location and discipline, and my education benefited from all of you right here, my classmates. Even if we didn't share a class, we all informed one another of new ideas through a growing web that reinforced the key points of each lesson. An example for myself was during a class on resiliency, where the perspectives of my classmates living in coastal Massachusetts, Florida, and California offered invaluable help in developing a better sense of the obstacles and solutions to shoreline protection. The Unity family today is larger than ever before. What started as a graduating class of just 24 students back in 1969 is now a network of over 7,500 current students spread out across all 50 states, Puerto Rico, and Canada. As we walk out of this auditorium, new opportunities will be available to us. The legacy of Unity Environmental University lives on through our achievements and impacts. Having graduated from America's Environmental University, let us strive to make a difference in the world. We all have a voice, and we have to use it. Be sure to think for yourself and base your opinions on reliable data, for perpetuating falsehoods creates more work for everybody else and runs counter to progress. The conclusion of our Unity education will mark a new beginning for us. As we strive to accomplish our personal goals in the near and long terms, let us also prepare for a boundless future where the opportunity is limitless and personal growth is a constant quest. While the work of our assignments may be over, we are entering a world more in need of distinctly different perspectives than ever before. The Unity Network will continue to expand, so let's remember to look out for one another and be gracious as we work towards the mutual goal of a sustainable and equitable environment. As our careers progress, we will become the leaders of the future, and with that great responsibility, we have no choice but to act with courage to realize progress. Nature is our most precious resource, and as parts of it ourselves, it's our unique role to go out into the world and be that change that Earth so desperately begs for. Change may be slow, but gradually, we will reshape our planet by combating injustices where we see them. There is no other choice. As Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." Thank you.